is 1879, but it is a history not our own. The guns of the Civil War are silent thanks to an uneasy ceasefire between the forces of the North and South. The Great Quake of '68 sundered the California coast, revealing the superfuel called ghost rock. This in turn powered an age of new science, driving men mad with ambition and something else altogether. The United States is divided into 6 nations in a constant state of conflict. Meanwhile, malevolent and sinister forces work from an unfathomable realm to twist the wills of men to their vile machinations. But one thing remains the same. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. Welcome to Deadlands Reloaded, The Flood, with huge diversions all over the place, mind you. This would be episode 3 in our, still the formative sessions of our ongoing Deadlands adventure that should take us through the next several years of that universe and real time as well, because boy, there's a lot. But this evening, as always, I am Will Thompson, your handsome and dashing marshal, and with me are my esteemed friends and colleagues. We have Mike, we have Sean, we have Mary, and last but certainly not least, we have Leroy. And they are the actors in this whole affair that is the Weird West on Wednesdays. Weird West Wednesdays. What do you know? Shit. That's a hashtag. Why have I not been Weird West Wednesdaying? But at any rate, who amongst you in character would like to give the synopsis of what happened last week for an extra Benny?
Who needs it?
Fix the camera.
What camera? Oh my goodness, I should fix the camera. Now the camera's correct. Look at that.
You should also monitor the Discord chat
Why?
during the game.
Why? Well, I can't do that because I have several panels pulled up across many windows. Discord is this window. I have the Twitch app, Sirenscape, and Streamlabs on this window, and Fantasy Grounds takes up this window. So yeah, you're just gonna have to tell me. I thought I warned you. When we do these full screen ones, it's just not possible. And full screen gets the focus on your lovely faces the best. But back to my original query. Which one are you in character? And not Mike, because frankly I let him do it on Friday, and it was like a 7th grade book report. I need just a little more.
Oh,
you got all the information there.
The cest de la vive. You know?
I'm not gonna lie. I really need bennies so I don't die.
Yeah.
Because if my spell blows up in my face.
That's true. That's true. Well, I mean, that's a critical failure. So it would require a Benny of a magnificent hue. But
Yes.
if you would like to give last week's synopsis in character,
All right. Well, all right.
Miss
So,
O'Day, yes. What
the
transpired?
group of us, we had to fight these awful little husk things. They were humans, but then these monsters burst out of their chests in such a horrifying visage. And there was a big, big spider, or at least that's what I thought it was. That's anyone with a sane mind could think of it was. And it tried to invade my personal space into somewhere only paying customers get to go.
It tried to know you
So,
biblically, if I'm not mistaken, Miss O'Day.
Yeah. So, sadly, Little Miss, let's make the group go out and venture into the night, just had to come in and then die. And she had all these fantastical machinations.
And how was it that she died, Miss O'Day?
What? It's quite fuzzy, but you know, I was being horribly attacked in such a personal way. But I guess Husker just kind of eviscerated her.
Just snipped her
Just-
dang near clean in half, yeah?
Yeah, and you know, I never curse a lost soul, but some of us were a little more than happy that that happened.
I think just one of you probably, but
But we did find out that she was a part of the agency. And
That's
now
right.
The agency is bad news, and
that depends on what side of the law you're on at any given moment. But yes, to you, the agency might definitely be inferred as being bad news. Yes, continue.
then we ventured back to the train. We had to spend a night in the freezing cold, and Liza had a little panic attack where she revealed some interesting things of the past.
On account
We
of
then-
the bug violating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went up to the train, and lo and behold, just as some of us mentioned,
Miss O'Day.
it was slaughtered.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was slaughtered. We couldn't find the little boys, so we came up with the idea that while it is horrible to have to think about, they may have been stolen and possibly will be sold. So we must figure out where they are.
Little blonde twins fetching a pretty penny in their right hands. Yep.
But the entire train was slaughtered. Every last one. And
Well, then what
So-
happened, Miss Day?
well, then we had to take a long journey down the road of the railroad to try to figure out how to get to a town, because obviously there ain't no train car coming to save us. So we had to go out and find a way. Now there was two options. We had to either go to Wagonsend, which we decided on, or go further west, which is both valuable options. But we decided that we had a chance to save those children, and it might benefit us to make some friends over here. So we ventured forth, and then we found Mr. Phineas Feelgoods.
Feel good. Thank you. Feel good.
Feel good. Feel good. His, I
Professor
guess,
Phineas Feelgood.
professor. Yes.
He didn't
Professor.
send 225 to the doctorate catalog to not be called professor. That was $2.25
So,
American, by the way. But continue. Yes, please. Sorry.
Yeah, so the professor was doing this long presentation about how these elixirs or tonics could make you shoot like you had been trained by the army or something. I think it's a load of you know what, but we humored him, helped him with his sale of things, and made a bargain. Say, We'll help you if you get us to Wagonsend. And we approach the town. We find out that Wagonsend is a peculiar town. It's not just one that is off in the middle of nowhere. It's run by carnival workers. It's con man central. So I'm gonna have a great time there, but that's what we started and that's where we left off.
Excellent recap. So you have accompanied Professor Phineas Feelgood to the carny destination of Wagons and the world's only stationary traveling circus, right? And as you guys pass the city gates down the midway, you see a garishly painted sign that says, "The weirdest town in the West." The midway is, exactly what you would anticipate. It's a series of tented booths down either side with ring tosses, a knock over the milk bottle, and water guns, and all of it, right? Staffed by an assortment of genetically odd individuals with, let's just say, unique bone structures, right? Each one of them kind of, hey, try the ring toss, just a nickel, earn $1, just a nickel, come on over, right? They barking out, and it turns out that it is Wednesday daytime, so there is a show this evening, but the weekend crowds haven't assembled en masse yet, right? So there are only a few dozen people here or there. And as you make your way down the midway, the big top looms the center of the town. It looks like it could hold maybe 300-400 people in its confines. And all of the paths kind of circuitously lead in. You notice clowns wandering around, looking like they're just getting started at the day's labors, stretching, smoking. Some of them only have half their makeup on, right? Nursing hangovers, clearly a few of them. And it's definitely, it's garish, right, to the extreme, right? The colors are bright, the sounds are a cacophony, right? And it's off-putting given its you've never seen a town like this before in your life, but there is a general celebratory vibe to the whole atmosphere, right? Despite the weirdness of it, there's like an opulence, a kind of fantastical that's appealing, to a certain part of your mind. And you do find yourselves, as the wagon wheels in, being swept in by the idea of a whole town filled with freak shows and carnival attractions. There's a petting zoo. There's a whole assortment of things to do. And Phineas looks back and he says, "Why, yes, now that there are people around, this will be a fantastic place to set up our wares. I do believe that we will camp on the edge of town here and get prepared for the weekend crowd. I would ask that you..." Is there a train coming through here all of a sudden? There should not be a train noise. I don't know what the...
Is there one?
Right, yeah.
Part of the script?
No, it's not. He's, apparently I did not listen to this whole soundscape, because I got like 3 things on here, and I assure you, not a one of them is train. Oh, you know what it is? Passing by. There we go. There was a train passing by, but it shouldn't have been. It's echoing strangely off the canyon walls, considering you guys were looking for a train earlier. There's definitely no train. But, continuing on, Mary, give me a notice roll.
Okay. Let's see, first roll.
Big money, big money, big money.
Hey, that's 4.
From the front of a large building with a like a plywood clown face on it with garish letters that says Fun House, right? You can't help but notice there are 2 people paying rapt attention to you in passing as the wagon wheels off down the midway towards where the off-season parking is for the camping.
Okay.
One of them is a gorgeous woman. Stark black hair, bright green eyes, pale skin. Just,
What?
I mean, she has this exotic quality that catches your
Oh
eye.
my god!
And your eyes lock for a second, and there's like a knowing, like, exchange, right? And then they wander to her compatriot, who is the opposite in almost every way. He has stark white hair, right? And pale blue eyes, and a pasty white skin. He seems to be sweating, like there's an oily sheen to it, and his teeth are too long. He's grinning broadly at you, but it's like a rictus, you know? And you can see from where you're sitting that he's covered in all these little scars all over the place, like somebody took a razor to him just over and over and over. And he is just all eyes on you. And definitely not with the same kind of knowing glance, but more of a carnal appraisal, you know?
I'm used to it.
Mm-hmm. But he is upsetting. I mean, he's just... There's something about his appearance that is off-putting to the extreme.
Yeah.
And that's in a town filled with carnies and freaks, right? These people have caught your attention.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You guys wheel from the midway, and the wagon starts to work its way around the back loop. And there are less people here. So Phineas once again drops the act, and he says, well, I guess y'all can, shack up at the campsite with us. There's an inn in the back of town. You can pay for a night. I think it's like $3 a night, though, you know, because this is, of course, like a Disneyland markup on everything, right? Like, it is going to be exorbitant to live here. He says, y'all are welcome to stay with me, and we can refine the bid a little. Right, I'm not gonna have use of you guys for like 12 hours. You said you had some business here. Maybe you could attend to your business.
Yes, we got business. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just still watching those two.
Oh no, they're well in the
Okay, gotcha.
well behind you now. They were right here for reference, and the wagon is working its way towards the very back of town here. You circle the fenced-in midway, the giant tent looming centrally, several other tents in there. It appears as though that's where the main freak shows are. There's a mermaid, there's a snake woman, you know. Strongman act.
That stare, Mary.
Probably pretty damn obvious. I mean,
They certainly weren't attempting to hide it. Neither of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So what's the plan?
I want to go and find an authority figure in this area and ask about the bandits.
Well, that would be the town strongman. And that would be back towards the midway.
Okay.
Did they go in the funhouse?
No, they were just hanging out on the porch.
Okay.
So if I recall, there were some missing horses.
Yep.
There were some missing chitlins.
Yep.
Right? There is Phineas Feelgood's Alchemical Wonders show. Right? And then there is just the whole of this goddamn town to, really explore and pick apart, yeah.
Oh, what do we do first?
You said
Victoria really wants to explore, but she'll do whatever.
Victoria, you gonna take off?
Yes. Victoria really wants to just
Take off.
check this
Take
out.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow her because I don't trust these people.
Yeah.
She seems neophyte, and I don't want her to get taken advantage of because she can't
Right.
speak the language. So,
Well, I mean, she can. You know.
She's got her voice box.
yeah. Well, she can speak it, but she can't understand it.
Well, no, it translates for her too. It's a two-way
Oh,
deal.
it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like
Otherwise, it would be
embedded in her
real
brain?
useless to just speak I mean, I don't even know what these words mean. You know, that'd be rough. That'd be rough.
Yeah.
Are you gonna ask
This is
around
the first.
about the marshal, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
People tell you, well, he's actually, you know, the strong man. And,
Where's he at?
well, his name is Ezra Fessler. That's Ezra, the Ezra Fessler. Ezra Eagle Eye Fessler. Right? And you could probably find him down in the Midway. Up there in the Fessler house, mayhap.
All right, then I'll head down to the Midway and see what I can see.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Joe, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's that?
So, what you going to the sheriff for the strongman?
Oh, see about bandits.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to check to
Bandits.
see if they passed through this area, if they were noticed.
Oh, JD. I guess to find to check up on the kids too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna go with him to the marshal. So we have officially split the party then into two distinct halves.
Looks like it. Oof.
Yep.
Shouldn't be any danger.
No, hell no. What?
No,
It-
absolutely not.
That
it
would
never
be.
is.
You know, first of all,
Ludicrous.
I want y'all to know that I'm resenting the implication right now that I would put you in a compromising situation. And then
Oh, guys.
secondly, I'm gonna need a notice roll from Eliza O'Day
Okay.
and Victoria Valadez Roja, please.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, look at that, a raise even.
Ooh.
Victoria Valadez Roja, you notice two little blonde-headed kids duck into the House of Mirrors. Eliza O'Day, those are those up and down. That's that boy
What?
that pantsed you. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say the little boys. They're how? What?
Pues vámonos. A ver si son ellos.
See, and yeah, we're just gonna.
I would never hurt them,
run.
Drogo. You're gonna run into the House of Mirrors?
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I got to
Knowing
admire
that
your
me
can-do
as a
spirit.
character would never do that
Right?
as myself.
A house of mirrors.
This is
Hey,
Chasing after kids.
this has never, ever in the history of ever gone poorly in any kind of fiction, right? Mirror houses are always fun, they're always a good time, and there are no tropes that you could go to TV tropes on right now and look up that we're about to wander through. See, it sounds fun right now, right? This is the fairway, everybody's
this is
having
fun,
a good,
right?
just a fantastical time.
And
No, make me stop.
while you are both, reasonably adept at what you do isn't really combat in the normal sense of the word. You should have taken Joe with you.
I don't know what you know, again, I've got to say that I
don't
just
know.
regret the
Victoria's
implications.
shot
It's
some
just,
shit, though.
this isn't me at all. This is you guys putting stuff
I
on
can
me.
protect us, I think.
So
Victoria's shot some shit too. So
Yeah.
When,
I'm
when
not saying
she
you
feels
can't
like
do
it.
it. Right. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying there's two characters here that are like your normal combat characters.
look at how small
and-
this maze is, though. I mean,
Yeah, there's no one in there with sharp objects or.
there's absolutely, and again, it is a fun
dungeon.
carnival atmosphere. Like, is one of you gonna step inside the mirror maze?
Good luck, team.
Yeah, I gotta go with my fawn type thing, and I'll go first.
All right, let's get into the mirror maze.
Cause, yeah, this is very hard for me as a player to do because this is not my personality, but it is Eliza's. So here we go. God. Here we go.
What's up with that sound change, Will?
What?
Why you gotta do that?
I don't know what you were talking about. So, friends, companions, Frozen Leroy.
Oh God.
It is
I'm gonna die.
dark. There are a couple of candles that light bounces off of through mirrors, and every now and then a clear sheet of glass, and it's disorienting. There's a thick fog that lies on the floor that comes up to your knees.
God damn it.
It's like almost as though there was dry ice or something.
Ghost rock smoke.
What the fuck was that?
Did you guys just walk into a pleasure house?
Everything is perfectly normal.
I don't like this. I don't like it. Oh, God.
So, it's a small and simple labyrinth, right? But, there are a few things we're going to have to do here. Every time you guys
God.
reach an intersection, right, I'm gonna need a notice roll at a -2 from you to determine whether or not, you turn the right direction to continue through the labyrinth. So, totally normal. Everything's casual. I don't know why you're weirded out right now. Wait, is that somebody crying mom? Oh no. Why? Who would do that?
Damn it.
Happy Halloween,
Curse
everyone.
You.
Yeah.
Curse you, Will. God damn it.
Hallow's Eve for sure.
You're the one that went following the weird.
Come on.
I did, because it's what she would do. And it's stupid, but I'm doing it. I am playing her as I wrote her. What the fuck is that? No, 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 no. Oh, God. No, 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 no. Okay,
Don't worry, you got Victoria with you there.
hold up.
Yes,
I'm
I'm
gonna link
here.
hands with her. Like,
Yeah,
I
you're
am
gonna hold
not,
hands
like-
with her? Okay, white
Yes.
knuckle gripping it. Sure, that makes sense.
Just gals being pals.
Just
Gal
gal.
pals.
Hashtag
pals.
gal pals.
Alright.
We have made. Did a child just say die?
I don't even know.
Wow, I'm just saying, this is not okay. This isn't Christian. So we have come to our first intersection.
What the fuck?
Yes. Yeah, way to defuse the situation there a little. Jeremiah is at the fairway trying on unicorn hats.
Gotta test out the merchandise. You know?
That's right. That's right. It does not, in fact, bestow magical powers, I'm afraid.
I just want you to stare at my face while you walk through this mirror maze.
Okay.
So,
It's mildly terrifying knowing what we're going into. The dead eyes. Dead eyes.
yeah, no, it's actually not helping. It's, especially given what we know about you, it is worse somehow. I'm just hoping that's not part of your pony play kit. That's all I know. Right.
Oh, God.
But anyhow, Can I get a notice roll from Eliza and Victoria for this first intersection here?
Of course.
Oh shit.
Excellent. You both successfully navigate the first intersection. Now, all I need is a guts roll from both of you.
Should have taken guts.
Should have taken. Oh no! And we lost Leroy again, but that's alright. Hopefully he's still here. Nope, lost them all together. I swear to God, his internet is from like 1475.
Okay, well, I rolled a 6.
You did
so
roll a
hopefully
6.
I'm okay.
And I am going to roll for Leroy here, because
He's back.
he is back. Oh
Sorry
my,
about that.
good lord. Look at that. You managed to succeed. And so both of you see the little kid, right? And he smiles at you and waves, and then his head lilts back, right? And the gash on his neck splits and separates, and you can see that it's just a little flap of skin holding his head back as it lilts around, and he giggles maniacally and disappears.
Eso no es cristiano.
Oh god.
Eso no es como Dios manda.
We can't leave him. What the hell is going on?
Guess what, guys?
I don't.
We have made it to our next intersection.
Oh god.
Give me a notice roll at a -2.
For both of us?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Somehow,
Big whelp.
you guys get separated.
No!
You were holding hands 1 second, you bump against a mirror. The next second, Victoria's gone.
Everything should be
Victoria,
alright.
where'd you go?
Señora Eliza, ¿me puede escuchar?
The sound echoes strangely throughout the mirrored walled room. You can't pinpoint anything. Give me a notice roll at a -4, both of you. Victoria, you start to find your way back onto the path from whence you came. Eliza, you clearly see Victoria.
You there? Victoria!
Looks like she's just down the corridor.
If that's where I see her and I failed my roll, I have to go down it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And you run headlong into a sheet of glass. BAM!
Okay. She's just gonna. Victoria!
Señora Eliza?
I can't see. Where did you go?
Wait. I'm sorry, Will, but I was slightly interrupted. So do I still see her, or do I just see images of her?
You're seeing reflections of her everywhere. You can give me another notice roll at a -4.
Let's do it. Well,
You think you see her behind you.
Victoria goes forward if she understands mirror mechanics.
That's so fucking creepy. Yeah. So you're going to, well, give me a common knowledge roll.
Come on, Victoria.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, but the trait roll was a
No,
natural
no,
one.
Come on!
Now
Damn
you're
it.
all
God,
turned around in here, I'm afraid.
It's not worth it.
I mean, good luck
Is it
finding
worth
the
it?
entrance at this point.
I think it's fucking worth it.
Okay, she's gonna use a Benny.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's. Thank you so much. Send them all up. Oh, by the way, you'll have adventure cards that have been refreshed. So.
Oh. Did you do it again? Okay, thank God. I
There
thought
you
I
go.
saw one on the die roll, and I was like, oh my fucking
No,
God.
you're headed in the right
No.
direction now. I'm just gonna need notice rolls from -2 from both of you because you were at intersections.
Okay.
Mmm.
Yep. Nope.
1 second.
Mmm.
Yes.
There you go. You managed to progress to the next intersection.
I don't like this.
Only
at
getting
all.
further away from Victoria with every success versus her failure. So I'm loving it. Let's split that party into 4 distinct groups. In fact, you know what we're going to do right now? Oh shit, we're going to put this on hold. And we're going to go back to the midway.
You're not gonna split Joe and I.
Of course not. I mean, what it... Don't be ridiculous. That isn't even an objective of mine. Why would I want you all in 4 distinct parts of this crazy, dangerous Carney town? That's ludicrous. I'm offended at the suggestion. With that, a sudden gust of wind blows you two apart. No.
Okay.
Joe, I got a feeling that you should stick right close to me for some reason.
You gonna ask around about the strongman?
Yeah. We're looking for Fessler.
There is a petting zoo. It has a jackalope, right? It has a genuine article unicorn, right? It has oh boy, all kinds of stuff. There's a 2-headed snake.
Zebras.
There, yeah, of course there's zebras.
Okay.
I mean, there's all kinds of
Joe's
wonderful.
never seen those before.
Well, no, and you're gonna. Are you going to the petting zoo? You gonna break off? What could be sinister about a petting zoo? Come on, broad daylight petting zoo.
All I'm
On the
saying
way
is,
there,
if we split up,
you're down
I will
tonight.
shoot my way out of this place.
I mean, that was
That's
established the second you
true.
rolled the character, I feel like. I mean,
Right.
that's not even... I mean, that was never in question at all. But,
If my one working brain cell leaves me, I'm just gonna shoot up the place.
right? Woo! Problem solvers right here. But, again, we discussed last week how you would change a baby with a gun, you know? I believe we got a little too far into the mechanics of wiping, but, you know, that's
Right.
neither here nor there. Again, this is pre-birth control, so there are plenty of babies to try on. So, Joe, I need a definitive answer. Is the allure of the petting zoo enough to pique your curiosity versus just boring hunting down a marshal to talk about some nonsense with your partner, who has been cool so far in these last few weeks, but is, you know, he is a little
Oh,
bit of
yeah.
a tight ass, isn't he? I mean,
I mean,
We can go to the petting zoo if you want.
Joe's
Joe.
very. Yeah,
I'll
I
go
feel
with you.
like.
now you're telling me that in character, without any out of character information, you're like, fuck it, I'll pet a zebra with my gun. I mean, is that what you're telling me right now, Jeremiah?
I ain't never seen no unicorns before.
That- well, don't get your hopes up. But yeah. No, you guys want to go to the petting zoo?
Lord.
I mean, honestly, the petting zoo piqued my interest, or
Mhm.
Joe's interest, so yeah.
Jeremiah kind of follows Joe around anyway.
Yep.
So
All right. Well,
wherever Joe wants
I
to
feel
go.
like they're two of a pair, Joe and JD. They're just like, yeah.
there is a old toothless Mr. Magoo looking fellow sitting out front of the petting zoo wearing a pair of overalls. He says that'd be a nickel a piece.
Peace.
That's pretty steep, partner.
Hey man, we got a 5 foot tall man eating chicken in there. You ain't never pet one of them. That's worth a nickel.
Why in the hell would I want to pet a man eating chicken?
Well, I mean, you could look at one, I reckon. It's a nickel.
You got it muzzled or something?
You know what? 10 cents for you now, partner.
Let's not get weird.
JD, why are you talking? Let's just go. It's just a nickel.
All right
And
then.
then Joe's gonna pat her pockets.
Yeah.
Try and figure out where she stashes the
Mhm.
coin, and then fish one out.
He bites it, even though he's just got
And
gums.
she
Just
hands it over.
he gums it. Yeah, it's a genuine article. A dime from you, mister.
He nickel and dimed you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll flip him one to where it's almost impossible to catch.
Despite that, he doesn't even look at it and snatches it right out the air. Thank you kindly. Enjoy the show.
Ooh, it's fake.
Didn't
So-
bite that one.
No, he didn't. The first exhibit, right, is a two-headed
Mhm.
goat. Give me a notice roll.
Starting off strong.
It seems to you, Jeremiah. Shit, that's a genuine article right there. That goat's got two heads. Joe, is that fucking paper mache right there? Only one of its eyes are moving, the others are just kind of fixed deadly. You know?
Are the eyes like?
Yeah, no, 100%. There's a barker inside, and he says, yes, it was born on Halloween Eve, and it gave it, two heads, one of which is normal, and the other which was stupefied for its defiance of nature.
Yeah, I heard about that before.
Yeah,
Born on Halloween.
yeah. Well, Halloween Eve, sir. I mean, Halloween, it would be a devil's goat, and we couldn't have that in here. No, sir.
Are there any goats? You got any goats, Mister?
Yeah, I mean, you can touch this goat right here. I mean, you paid for the petting zoo. Just avoid the
Oh,
stupid
yeah,
head,
okay.
please. It doesn't like to be touched.
Well, why then you got it out? Why do you have it out in the petting area?
Well,
Don't
because
like to be
people pay
pet,
more
right?
money for a two-headed goat. I mean, you could go pet a normal goat, just, I mean, 400 feet down the road here. Like, just chase one down, do whatever you want to it, but...
So can I touch it or not?
Yeah, just don't touch the dumb head. Are you gonna pet the goat?
And then, yeah.
I mean, it just sits there and chews. It's clearly a goat with another head just, like, affixed on it. Yeah.
Can you? Is the head like? It just like flops down.
It sags a little, right? There's a clear seam between the body, right? There's a leather strap that has it going that they just painted white, right? It's not super convincing, no.
Joe's gonna just watch, I guess, JD's reaction to this. Just
JD, I'm afraid. I mean, that's a bona fide two-head. Maybe it's the darkness of the tent or the fact that you're not getting up at petting distance. Well, you go, I'll be plumb. They got a two-headed goat in here. Shit. You know?
And Joe's just gonna turn. It's nice. Is it nice?
Huh? Yeah, no, it's, I mean,
Nice
well,
goat?
it's nothing. It's just sitting there and chewing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's nice. It's not like, you know.
It's not
Okay.
attacking.
Next up
Snake.
is the zebra.
Yes.
Gonna need notice rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Painted horse.
Painted horse. Painted horse.
JD knows his horses.
Zebra.
Well, clearly not, because this is a painted donkey.
Ah.
Man, we are not going to keep Leroy. I just need to set up a Leroy-less cam setting clearly. It's worse every week.
Have him connect on his phone.
Right, something. But,
All right, so
yeah, no,
this
it's a painted donkey.
donkey.
Yeah. Yeah, I resent the implication. Just because you're not familiar with the beasts of the savannah, sir, doesn't mean this is a painted donkey. And to his credit, I mean, it's a pretty good paint job.
Is it-
I mean,
Is it okay? I'm like, could you see like the paint?
if you got right up on it,
fur?
definitely,
Okay.
it's like matted. But no, from like a
Okay.
respectable distance, it is. No, it's a striped mule.
Well,
Well.
Joe's, I feel she's starting to get a little irritated. This was not what she paid for.
I mean,
Honestly.
well, wait until you
Joe,
see the
explain.
unicorn.
It's strange that they got a real two-headed goat up front, and then they got this painted ass right here. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Making an ass
Well, they
of
can't
it
all be
all.
winners, right? I
Paying
mean,
for
you
that.
know,
Well, I'm sure this unicorn's gonna be legit.
100% genuine article. Let's get a notice roll.
This is an animal of mythology.
That's right.
See,
This is
yeah.
a bullshit animal.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the paste, you know? It's like built up. It's wheat flour paste that they clearly just affixed some kind of.
Is the horn made out of like not cardboard, but like felt like?
It is
cloth
not
or
ivory,
something?
for sure. No, I mean, it might be a cow horn, but like, yeah, it doesn't twirl magnificently. No, it's just kind of horn.
That's a.
I guess seeing a two-headed goat's worth a dime.
I
The rest
mean,
of these animals in here are bullshit.
it's something, right? It's something, and I mean, you still have the 5-foot-tall man-eating chicken, you know, which is gonna be, I mean, if anything, that'll be ridiculous, right? But moving on, there is the jackalope, and they actually got 4 of them. Just hopping around, rabbits with antlers. Let's get notice rolls. This time, they are small creatures. Let's get them at a -2.
I already rolled it, Will.
Hot damn!
Bad.
Genuine article pack a jackalopes. They got they're the little. We got antlers. They got rabbits. They're hopping around. I mean,
Well, that's worth a dime.
That's
or
worth a
5
dime,
cents
too.
For sure.
Give me a common knowledge roll.
Mm,
Yeah, them feet are super lucky. Yep, you both are well aware
Now.
of
You just had to outdo me, huh?
yeah, them
Alright.
jackalope feet are. I mean, if rabbit's foot is lucky, a jackalope's foot is, you know, double lucky. And you heard of them before, so look at that, a whole pack of genuine article jackalope. Just hopping around all nimbly pimbly, just, you know, munching, doing rabbit shit.
So, probably a stupid, embarrassing question, but
Yeah.
as a player, is
Yeah.
a jackalope a real animal?
Huh?
Uh,
There are no horned rabbits in IRL.
Fair enough.
There's a myth about it. In the Deadlands universe, it's neither here nor there. You've heard of them, certainly, yeah. And out of character, definitely, and their feet are super lucky, yeah. You get an extra Benny every play session for a month, if I'm not mistaken, if you have one of them. But
Are they?
Hey, Joe, all we gotta do is take one of these here jackalopes. We got enough.
well, I
food for
wouldn't get
everybody.
too close if you want to maintain the illusion, maybe. But and then finally, last but not least, the 5-foot-tall man-eating chicken. They keep this one behind a curtain.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They let a whole audience of people pool together. There's about a dozen folk with
Yeah,
you,
they do.
right, getting ready for this.
Mhm.
And they say, "Are you ready for the reveal?"
JD places a hand on a revolver.
Yep.
I
They
don't like man eating chickens.
rip back the
Joe's
curtain,
gonna push to the front.
right? They rip back the curtain, and there is a portly, short gentleman just devouring a whole roast
Eating
chicken.
Yes. Yes.
A 5-foot man eating chicken.
A 5-foot tall man eating chicken, yeah. It's exactly as was billed. Yeah.
Joe, I'm gonna need my dime back. This wasn't worth more than a nickel to see a two-headed goat.
Yeah, and a
And
whole pack of
jackalope.
jackalopes. A whole pack of jackalopes.
I'm like, the jackalope, if we stole one.
Are you going to
You know
go and
what?
try back and steal one of the fake
Yeah.
ass jackalopes?
Yeah.
Joe, let's steal one
God.
of these fucking jackalopes.
Right now or after hours? No, right now.
It's on our mind.
Is there anyone?
God.
Is there anyone watching in there?
Oh, we will have to get back to that because I'm afraid it's been entirely too pleasant here for a minute.
Oh man, are you sure? Pretty sure they
Joe
were
and I got-
jack-o'-lantern.
Joe and I got the silly adventure. You guys, you chose wrong.
It's just,
Oh,
oh man, you guys are
Guys.
playing like carnival games, and we're here like getting mentally scarred.
We're gonna be out there
Yes.
doing the ring toss and stuff.
There is nothing mentally scarring about this.
We won all these prizes.
Oh man, guess what's
Just a
being
giant
drawn next?
stuffed animal and some cotton candy and
It's
shit.
a giant jackalope.
This place is great.
Yeah, just a bunch of bloody rabbit
Victoria
feet.
and I come back blood-soaked, shaken, downtrodden.
Come
Let's
back.
go,
You got
dude.
big dreams.
Sounds like a regular Tuesday night for Victoria.
Give me notice rolls, both of you.
-2.
Nope, just flat.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Hey goof.
Well, hey, what's up?
Eliza,
Yeah?
you see that gentleman with the white hair and the scarred face and the long, toothy grin staring at
Danger
you
out.
from one of the corners, yeah?
Derringer out.
Are you going to fire your Derringer in the
I am
house?
not gonna fire. I am
Okay.
not firing.
Excellent, but
I am
Derringer is
having it ready.
pulled out, right? Yeah.
God damn it. God damn it. Son of a bitch.
Now I'll take those notice rolls at -2.
Like it. Oh god. Damn it.
Oh man. At least
Oh wait,
it's
that
not
was common
negative.
knowledge, Victoria.
That was
Oh,
common
let me
knowledge.
do
Yeah,
that
give me a
again.
notice, yeah.
Please God. Well,
Oh, Victoria.
I'm gonna spend a white chip. I'm gonna spend a white chip.
Alright, below a Benny, let's get a reroll out you.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
In fact,
Silence is killing me. I like this.
The little kid talking is getting
I know.
what?
me. I don't like
The
it.
crescendoing music? No.
It's not like I spent like 30 minutes specifically on the mere Funhouse soundscape, maximizing the Halloween creepiness. I resent again the implication. You would play this for a bunch of church wives, you know?
Mhm.
God. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I
No.
have a really fun adventure card.
Oh yeah? Why don't you play it if you'd like? I don't know what it is, so.
I don't know. I want to see how bad it's gonna get. Then I'll like, okay.
I want to see how bad it's gonna get, and then I'll like, okay, all right, yeah, no, that's solid. That's definitely that's concrete there. See you later, Drago. That's true. They did kill a swarm bug yesterday in Dayton Miles. It's been a spooky weekend or week. But Victoria, I am going to need a vigor roll.
Figure. Okay. Fuck me.
Mm.
We're doing not
Only.
that.
There is a quick little flash of movement in the fog, right? And you feel the back of your leg right above your ankle open up. It's like somebody tried to cut the tendon there with something sharp, and you take a wound.
Oh my god. What
Okay,
the fuck?
I'll live
I
with that.
don't
That's
like
fine.
this. Victoria, get out of there.
Do you scream? I take it.
Yes, she does, and
You're bleeding pretty
with
good out
that-
of that leg now. Yeah.
Yeah. With that, she's yeeping out of here. She's no necesito esto con mi vida. Yo me voy de aquí. Voy a tratar de ayudar, pero pinche madre, ¿por qué me lastimó la pierna? And she's gonna take out a card.
Yes.
Alright, let's see what the adventure card is.
Oh god.
Play to get the party out of some troublesome or deadly incident. This leads to some other trouble, however, such as capture, escape to a new location with its own
God
harrowing
damn it,
adventure,
Victoria.
or
What
the
do you want me to
sacrifice of a noble ally.
Oh. Ouch.
Suddenly, both the doors open, right, and a carnival worker rushes in, and he said, "I heard screaming. Is everything all right in here?"
No.
The fog fades, your leg's bleeding. There's no sight of kids or anything. It's just mirrors and glass and daylight. Thank you
Mire.
so much for that, by the way. Oh my god. That might be my favorite adventure card ever. Free pass to
man.
fuck the party later. That's just wonderful.
So is that for everyone?
Play to get the party out of some troublesome or deadly incident.
Okay.
This leads to some other trouble, however, such as capture, escape to a new location with its own harrowing adventure, or the sacrifice of a noble ally. So those are pretty
That
big stakes.
asterisk.
All three of those are
Terrifying.
man. Wow.
You kill Phil good.
I-
That's all.
I got carte blanche, really, is what that just gave me for the rest of the session. Just like, yeah. And it doesn't even have to be this session. It's just at some point in the future I get to go, no, you know what? Y'all are fucked. You got out of the House of Mirrors. Your leg is still bleeding pretty good, though. You might want to apply healing to yourself to avoid limping around for the next 5 days.
That's what she's gonna do.
You can give me a standard healing roll.
Okay.
And it is a cut. It looks like somebody took a straight razor to your Achilles tendon, is what it looks like. If it had been any deeper, you wouldn't be using that foot right now. And yeah, you managed to bandage it up, get it good, and remove the wound. You guys bump into Jeremiah and Joe, fresh out of the petting zoo.
Oh, hey, ladies. How
We
you
got
been?
a heist we're trying to plan here.
Oh shit, I
Yeah.
forgot totally about the heist. My apologies. Back to the petting zoo. So it is a, it's a circus tent with a bunch of other circus tents, right? And, so you are in a larger tent with a bunch of other restricted tent areas. There's kind of a guidance. There's a couple of guys going through there barking. But if one of you were to give me a suitable roleplay distraction, perhaps engaging one of the barkers in a long-winded conversation. This will be social combat, by the way.
Okay, wait. One question though. If we were to capture this rabbit, what kind of role would it be like to wrangle it? Like,
Well, I
Would
mean,
it be like survival or?
it could be survival, it could be athletics to wrangle it, and then it's gonna be, you're gonna have to stealth, to get the rabbit out of there. It is a rabbit with a rack of antlers on, like,
That's true.
that's quite
You
the
have to be
trench coat
very gentle with
accomplishment,
those
you know
horns.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But, which one of you wants to engage in the social combat in which you distract one of the barkers?
God.
Cool.
This.
All right,
insanity.
JD. How are we
Jeremiah?
gonna do this?
So you're gonna let her, with her 0 thieving skills,
No.
be the one that pockets
I
the
do
rabbit?
not do. Oh wait.
So I just want to let you
Well-
know I have not forced this situation upon you. This is
No,
your own
we
machinations.
have not chosen. We're talking right now.
Oh, you're still okay. You're
We're
talking.
talking,
All
yes.
right.
We're doing a little powwow, trying to plan this
Little
out.
powwow.
Alright, we got
Yeah.
our heads together.
Well, Joe, if you are able to distract one of these gentlemen, I'm pretty sure I can snack one of these jackrabbits and maybe snap its neck, and then we can take it on back with us.
Oh, don't kill.
Well, how? What the fuck? All right, so you're just gonna carry it? I got 4 feet. You gotta feed it every day. I mean, how the hell else were you gonna get the rabbit's foot, Joe? I mean,
I'm planning on killing this thing.
I never thought we were gonna kill the bunny. We were just gonna, sever its limbs and leave it.
Right, I can just cut its feet off if you want.
It's just kind of nubbing around, all sad, with the weight of the horns. That's better. You're right. No, that's the PETA choice.
Barker, I need assistance immediately.
Peter.
This one has stubs, and it's got blood all over my pockets.
Right.
No.
So,
Oh my
talk it
God.
out, folks. Are we stealing this jackalope?
All right. Yeah, we are. All right. I
Oh
can.
God.
I'll try and distract him.
All right, Joe.
No.
Grandma.
There is a barker wearing a weathered bowler hat, hitting a corn cob pipe, wearing just a pair of overalls, barefoot, lanky.
Mhm.
Kind of looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, a patch of unkept chin hair.
Mhm. How old does he look?
It's hard to tell with carnies, right? He could be 17, he
That's
could be
true.
35.
They're not drug addicts. Like.
I would not make any assumption about these particular carnies and their habits. Because
Okay.
remember, Ghost Rock made all kinds of fancy narcotics, so
That's true.
if you think
okay.
there isn't Ghost Rock meth,
Meth, I was like, is there meth right now?
No, meth, well,
Okay.
so no, not technically, but Ghost
Ghost
Rock
Rock meth.
cocaine for sure.
Okay.
Meth is still another, 50 years out or so, but who knows? Ghost Rock might accelerate that technology too.
Check out Deadlands Noir. Is there Ghost Rock meth?
Oh
there?
yeah, oh yeah. No, there's Ghost Rock everything
Check
there.
out our Tuesday show.
That's
Check
right.
For some meth.
If you want to
Alright.
see the disastrous effects of Ghost Rock abuse,
For
Tuesday
all your
night
meth needs.
on a very special episode of Tate and Miles. Yeah. No, but moving
Alright.
on.
Yes.
So you're gonna try and
Alright.
distract this fella?
Yep. Alright, let's do this.
All right.
Joe's gonna saunter over to this corny, shaggy
Yeah.
fella, and where's he standing, by the way? Like where? Is he
He's just leaning up against one of the tent posts. He's got his back to the unicorn exhibit. He's
Perfect.
in his periphery is the jackalope exhibit off to his left currently.
Okay. Alright. Well, Joe's gonna saunter on up to him,
Mhm.
and so what's that horn made out of? Talking about the unicorn?
It's horse. Well, unicorn.
Horse. But I can see. Wait. Did I? Which? What's
Yeah, no,
zebra that I
the
noticed?
unicorn you noticed was fake.
Is real.
Definitely, that was your
Okay.
highest notice. In fact, was on the
Okay, that's why.
unicorn.
Okay, I'm like, that's what I thought. Okay,
Mm.
I can see the glue there. What's-
I don't
Can you
understand
try
what
it
you
again?
implicating currently, lady.
There's glue on the horn there.
Oh, I'm
not
sorry.
close.
Are you
I-
a unicornologist? That's just what it looks like when the horn grows out. Shit.
But I know my horses.
Well, that's good that
I've
you
never
know your horse. You
seen-
clearly don't know no unicorn, though, lady. That's
So
genuine
where did you get
article
this unicorn?
horn growing. Well, from a faraway land filled with elves and pixies, of course. I'm not at license to divulge the particulars, mind.
Now, where's this land of pixies? I've never.
I don't
Are
know.
you Well, how can you be a carny now if you don't know?
Well, I
the
mean, I
history
do
of
know,
your
but I'm not just gonna
animals?
tell some random lady here. Shit, we ain't even acquainted.
I'm curious. I'm curious about your unicorn, and she's gonna try and push, not push him, but divert his attention to the unicorn.
Alright, so this will be the first of 3
Oh my god. Here
opposed
we go,
rolls. So,
guys.
you're trying to persuade him, and I don't think you have done a very good job so far. So I'm going to take that persuasion
Yeah, I
roll
know,
from
I'm
you, add a negative
bad.
1.
Oh. Oh, here it comes.
Yeah. Oh no.
Nah, this line of attack, it does not appear to be successful. I will not have the bona fides of our genuine article unicorn questioned by some lady. Shit, you ain't even a horseologist, let alone a unicornologist. I tell you what, though, you ain't hard on the eyes.
Jesus. Okay,
I
alright.
like 'em a little manly.
You want that jackrabbit feet that bad?
Yeah, I do. So.
Oh my god, you do? Holy shit!
Joe.
Well, young
I'm committed to this. I'm committed to this. I'm.
So this creepy shirtless carny dude with his tobacco-stained teeth and fingers,
She's learning
right,
some shit. from
leering
me,
at
so
you
good,
all
so she's gonna
lecherously.
try and-
You could
Maybe
try
bend
Mr.
her
J's
shirt a little on her.
technique.
Yeah.
my technique. Okay.
Alright, well,
That's gonna be so horrible.
let's see Joe's
Alright.
attempt to seduce this guy, and given on not how well you do, right? Because God, please don't do well, right? But how well you appear to role play Joe Doggett, going, well, yeah, I'm into sex with carnies, right? I want to see that, right? And depending on how well
Yeah.
you nail that, is how well your next persuasion roll will go. So you say, yeah, you ain't hard on the eyes, though.
Come on.
Alright, you ain't that hard on the eyes either, mister. And she's gonna just kind of bend her vest a little bit and kind of do this thing with her hands to so her flat chest. Is
Oh, yeah, you're like, you grab your belt buckle with both hands and kind of squeeze.
Yeah. Yep. And then maybe kind of do a little twist with her boot, in the
Wait,
dirt, you know?
what?
Wait.
Ew!
Jesus Christ.
We've gone there, guys. We've gone
This
there.
ain't Christian. This is
This
not
is not a
intended.
wholesome. This is not a wholesome stream, okay? Grandma isn't watching. Your church group should not be watching.
So,
There's slash fic and
he
this is
says,
not your wholesome church group.
yeah, I could get down with that. There goes the dropping the laptop. So he goes, I bet you clean up real nice. You want to go to the horse trough with me?
Where's that?
Well, that's just out front. Of course, there's the one next to my tent. It sleeps 8, but everyone else is working right now, so we had the run of it.
Is it private?
A private you get here in Wagonsend. Yeah, you notice all this going down. Go ahead and give me your persuasion roll now to turn him away at a +2.
Okay.
Where's the soundboard for this? Man, there are things that happen on this show. I could have written 1,000 episodes.
No.
Yeah, no, the trait roll was a natural one. But he says, you know what? We Carney folk, then none of them mind. We can do it right here. You ever done it on top of unicorn?
Where's the soundboard, Will?
I know, right? Because I was saying that I could have written 1,000 hours of episode, and never in a billion years would I predict that Joe Doggett would seduce a carny to try and get a fake-ass jackalope. It's fake as shit.
Listen,
You know what?
she doesn't
Just
know
for
that.
this,
That-
I am going to
that
let you guys.
jackalope
One of the
is
4
real
is a real
shit.
jackalope. There is an off chance that you guys will get a jackalope's foot if you succeed, because this is,
Oh my god.
holy mother of God, this is something else.
This is a hot mess.
So, your trait roll was a natural 1, which
Yeah,
means
it was.
he's like, we could give it a couple minutes, let this next group filter out, right? And then we got 10 minutes for the next show. That'd be enough for 2 or 3 times the gal pretty you.
Yep.
Yup.
Yep.
So we currently have
Yeah.
0 of our 3 successes to get him distracted at this point. This is going gangbusters. But now,
This is
I mean,
like
he's-
a little. This is a literal garbage fire.
yeah, oh no.
I can't stop watching.
This is a fucking dumpster fire for sure.
Oh my god.
He says, my name's Hezekiah. What's your name?
Lucy.
Don't use your real name. Oh, thank
Lucy,
you.
huh? Hey, that's a real purty name, especially when it comes out that mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, Lucy, you live up to your name?
Maybe.
Will is an
Then she's gonna,
improv
like-
god.
Her hair's like kind of look at me.
Like, Jesus Christ. Okay, like I said, we got this here unicorn.
I'm using that line next
Okay.
time I run into a Lucy.
Right, no shit,
How
Drew.
about we go You what?
Oh,
you
Drew
did.
hopes my wife isn't hearing any of this, because I'm about to be divorced. Show over.
I'm dying. Oh my
I was gonna
god.
say though, I've never done it before though, so what if we go somewhere more private?
Wait, you telling me that I would be deflowering you? I'd be taking your innocence. That's a persuasion roll to +4. Oh boy, I mean, hell yeah.
Jesus.
I sure hope this doesn't
Don't
awaken
knock him off.
something
Come on, come on.
deep inside me.
Oh!
Oh yeah. No, he's like, shit, lady, for your innocence, I'll walk with you to Cleveland.
Nice one.
Yeah, so that's literally
Your
all the
virginity as a
successes you
social
needed
construct.
right there. Boom, boom, boom. So, yeah, no, he's ready. He's raring and ready to go. Unfortunately, now you have a horn dog ass carny that's following you to wherever you're going to, figure out what the. Yeah, no shit, I'm throwing up in my mouth a little too. Oh
Okay, so
man.
did Victoria and
Now you are
Yes.
exiting the petting zoo. I will let them give me a notice roll at a -2 to see if in the whole thing they see a carny following you out all horn dog. Definitely being led by his small
I'll just
head.
see a tent in his trousers.
Right, yeah. Just getting dragged, his heels just sliding in the ground, just magnetic pull
Victoria,
of his bits.
What are we rolling?
Notice at a -2. No assistance there.
Come on.
No.
Oh, no. You guys are on the other end of the midway, I'm afraid.
It's a lovely day.
Jeremiah,
Sorry.
it's gonna be, you gotta catch you that rabbit first. So I'm gonna need an athletics, then I'm gonna need a thievery, and then I'm gonna need a stealth. There are 3 steps to smuggling this jackalope out. Oh yeah, you snatch one up, sure enough.
Athletics, thievery, stealth.
Yep. And yeah, you managed to get it
Damn, yeah.
secured,
Come on,
tucked
let's go,
away,
let's
and now
go.
you just gotta
Do
get
this.
out of the
Come on,
exhibit
Jimmy.
with it under your duster.
Come on. Come on, let's do this. Come on.
Yeah. Hot damn.
Nailed it.
Foots.
Yeah, you walk out there with a very
damn.
suspicious
Oh, yeah.
bulge under your duster. So here we go.
I'm not the only one with a bulge walking out of this tent.
Oh my
There
god, no, shut it down.
Well, I'm afraid that you're not gonna come out in time to solve this
Guys,
problem
we're
for
burning it.
Joe either. Cause this took a minute. She's going to have wandered some distance, I'm afraid, with this Hezekiah fellow. But, roll a d4. On a 4, it is the genuine article jackalope. You had a 1 out of 4 chance. Holy shit, that was a 5, which means you have secured a real jackalope. Its horns are embedded in its skull. It has a full rack of antlers. It is an adult jackalope.
It fucking worked, Joe.
Yes.
Somehow
Well,
it
I
worked.
mean,
Well, now,
You can.
we might want to park the bikes and walk just a second, because, I mean, this might take a sinister turn. Joe,
I'm scared.
where are you, taking Hezekiah?
Oh god damn it. Okay, alright,
You gotta do the deed now, Joe.
where did he say that? that
Oh, well, he is in a tent here. He's in a carny tenting, right? Which is like a communal tent situation.
Okay. Oh yeah.
There are
okay,
8 bunks in there. You know, it's kind of open air. You just
Yeah.
open a flap to the outside. It is really close to the outhouse, though, so it's a prime tent, he explains. It's real good in case you got a tinkle after.
Well, Joe's gonna lead him to his bunk
Okay.
and say,
Oh god.
I gotta go relieve myself real quick here, okay? I'll be back. You stay here. Don't you move now.
Oh, I'll get real ready.
Mhm.
Don't you worry, Lucy.
If you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. You gonna earn that name,
Okay.
girl? He says as you walk out. You have exactly 2 minutes before he becomes suspicious.
Okay.
Run.
Wow.
Yeah,
Run.
so I'm just fucking. I'm decking it, and I might even just. Are there clothes I can buy to like the hat? Like, is there like fake mustaches? I don't care. I'm just.
So, no, this is gonna be a problem, I'm afraid, because old Hezekiah now is convinced that you're horny for him, and it's probably gonna be convinced it was just some machination of fate that kept you all apart. No, we'll be.
No, like I visited like Wagonsend vests or like a little.
Oh yeah, no. If you wanna spend $20 on a,
No,
I
don't.
visited Wagonsend and all I got was this button-down nondescript T-shirt for sure. Yeah.
Linen, yeah. Alright, fine.
God.
Yeah.
You
I'm
are going to give me a run
dashing
roll.
it. Okay. A run roll.
Yep.
Is
Your
it running?
Yeah, you go to your pace and just roll that die on the traits tab of your character sheet below your attributes.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah. No. You haul ass right out of there and run smack dab into a white-haired fellow with a real
No!
long face,
No!
covered in scars. He's got pale gray eyes,
No.
and he says,
Did I roll it?
Ex-
So, like, did I notice that look between Eliza, like,
"No,
when we came
no,
in?
none of y'all did, except for her."
Okay.
So,
Excuse me, mister, and just try and keep going.
excuse me.
Goddamn fucking creepy guys. I'm running away from those guys.
I think your card is coming in handy.
You're welcome.
Leroy.
Damn it. Leroy.
I would like to introduce myself. I'm Wilbur Domino. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Wilbur, okay. Wilbur what?
Domino.
Domino.
Me and my partner,
Nice to meet you,
Lucinda,
mister.
run this town. It's nice
You're
to
the
see
mayor?
visitors. Well, I'm the ringmaster. Yes. Say, I couldn't help but notice that you had an associate with you as you rode into our town. Yes. Would you be a dear and tell me her name?
Wait, you cut off with you wrote in with who?
You had an associate with raven black hair and emerald green eye. I would like very much so for you to tell me.
I don't know her.
That's strange
Name.
because I saw you mid-conversation on the back of, what was it, Professor Feelgood's wagon? I would hate for there to be
You
some
know,
kind
I
of
gotta go. My friend,
no,
he's calling
no.
me.
A misunderstanding would be most unfortunate, he says, and his hand slips his coat and reveals an ivory-handled revolver with intricate silver inlay.
Oh, I'm
It's
gonna
not
need
worth
that.
it. Just say it. Just
Now
say
you would kill me, mister, for not telling me a lady's name? Is
I'm
that
not
what
sure.
you're trying to tell me?
I'm not sure what you're inferring. I'm just saying that I would hate for there to be a miscommunication. Her name, please.
Cut his dick off.
No, man, you are not. I'm afraid.
Wait, how tall is this gentleman too? How tall is he?
He's like 5'11", average human height,
Okay.
wiry.
Okay.
There is
Just
something
say it. Just say it.
unnerving about this guy. Like, he's been smiling the whole time, right? But his eyes have been
But his
cold
eyes
and
aren't
dead.
yeah.
They're just... Her name, please. I would hate to have to get the strong man involved. You wouldn't like for the strong man to be involved. Now, for the last
Catherine.
time.
Her name's Catherine.
Catherine. Catherine what?
Young.
Catherine Young. Why don't you give me a persuasion roll at a -4?
Yeah, that's so bad.
Oh my god!
Just tell him it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Catherine
Yeah.
Young,
Oh,
is it?
what the fuck?
Holy
Joe
fuck.
is on today.
What the fuck?
Tell Miss Young she should be expecting us. And he turns around
Who?
and walks away.
Who? Expecting who?
That's it.
Mister.
That's it. He walks away as Hezekiah comes bursting from the tent, giving us a notice roll. Oh, look at that. He did not notice you. Thankfully, You've gotten far enough away and are
We
on the
just
fairway
missed
where all three of you bounce into one another, and then you see Jeremiah Decker with a very full duster kind of hurrying his way through the crowd.
Hey, y'all! It's good to see you again. We should make it back to the wagon. I got a special treat.
Yeah, you do. Let's go.
Are you
Yes.
guys all gonna reconvene back at the wagon? The shadows are growing long. It's starting to get evening time.
See.
We
Probably,
got some cutting up to do.
probably a good time to, sit, rest, and recuperate. Maybe talk about the developments of the day thus far as they sit. Oh, but before we do
Also,
that, we're halfway through, folks. So this is a perfect time to segue into our mid-show break. Boy, if you like what you see so far, you can smash that follow
Woo!
button. What? That'll let you get in the chat. You can join the Discord. You can follow us on the Twitters all over the place. If you don't got money, but you're still like, shit, I like these guys, I'd like to help this show, tell people about us. It's that simple. Just spread the word. Tell them this is one of the best, if not the best, one of the best. We're not going to be too bold. One of
It's
the
the
best.
best.
Not too
Oh,
fucking-
the best.
yeah.
You heard it there. Mike said it first. It is
Yeah.
the best. But we will be back after a very brief break, and thank you for sticking around. We appreciate every single one of you. And we're back. Thank you so much for sticking with us through our first half and our ad and intermission break. We only run one ad per episode for subscribers of the show, and they get no ads because they're subscribers. Everybody else, you get the intermission ad, so there are perks. In addition to that, you can always, as a subscriber, use our Flappy Arms emote that if you've been a longtime viewer of the show, you will remember from Joe Doggett's murderous rampage. But with that,
It's only murder if they catch you.
we find ourselves at twilight at the edge of Wagonsend, the lit up circus tent in the middle glowing with diffuse light. The crowd starting to mill and gather, but you're now far enough away that it's pleasant nature sounds and campfire roaring and a live jackalope.
Hit you.
Yeah, so I will hold it by its antlers and ask Joe to come and take care of this thing.
Joe, are you going to murder this innocent furry mammal?
As its little nosy twitches.
Right, as it looks
Stop
at
it,
you,
guys.
all sad and
With
forlorn, saying, I
Big
can't
doe
help
eyes.
that I'm lucky. It's true.
Think of the feet, Joe.
It's
Think
like
of the feet.
Thumper from Bambi. I mean, just
Look,
boom.
Joe went through a lot of shit to get this jack-o'-lantern. She
I
fucking
know.
deserves
Yeah.
it.
I seduced this gross fuck.
Wait, you're gonna seduce the jackalope?
No, I seduced that gross fuck.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's
Speaking of the
dying.
gross fuck,
I've gone too
everybody
far
give
to
me a
turn back
notice
now.
roll.
I've gone too far. Jesus.
Notice?
Yep.
No, no.
Just regular?
Oh, good A. Yes.
He was up.
Lucy!
9.
Lucy! Where are you, darling?
Okay, Joe's gonna legit like.
Oh, it's back towards
Are we
town.
all
Together yet? Are we
Yeah, no, you're all together around the campfire right
Okay.
now, yeah.
Joe's gonna throw off her hat and like grab her like bedroll and like throw it over herself so it looks she's like this.
Yeah.
Kind of.
The,
Yeah.
yeah. The back of Phineas's wagon bursts open, and a young, disheveled-looking gal comes out, followed by Phineas, wearing just his, his one-piece union suit. It's just long johns, pretty much. And he said, yes, and if you have any more bouts of hysteria, by all means, come by, and we can make this arrangement yet once again, of course. Thank you so much for participating in the medical services of Dr. Philgood. And she seems pleased and walks away, and he flips through 5 $1 bills and sticks them in the pocket of his underjohns. It says, how's your day been going? Mine has been spectacular.
Is he a gigolo?
How did he so
No,
He is a doctor.
the young woman had a misalignment of the humors that led to a paroxysm hysteria that had to be relieved via physical manipulation of
Oh my goodness, cut the shit. I know.
He looks around, right? And he goes, yeah, I guess I'm a gigolo.
Nah, pues qué bueno. A
Is
lo
he man
menos
fit? Like, is he
le da placer.
actually look attractive?
No. Oh, no. I mean, he
No.
is, like,
Okay.
graying, in his 50s,
Ew.
portly and short. No.
Mm-hmm.
So hot.
We're learning all kinds
You
of new
have to-
stuff about Jeremiah.
He's coming back.
Come on, guys, you gotta give Dills their love.
No, it was
The ones
basically,
deserve love.
it was his way to get laid and make $5 at the same time, is what you just witnessed the
Hey.
tail end of.
So
Through
when
the
you-
rigorous medical application of, physical theories.
Rigorous exam. Mm-hmm.
Gary wakes from the driver's seat, clearly groggy. A couple of bottles of tincture. Yeah, well, yeah. Couple of bottles tinker out of the tincture. And Phineas kind of rolls his eyes. We've got a show, Gary.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Oh,
Oh
Uh,
shit.
we're all together, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I want to tend to Victoria. I know she's like physically fine, but I
Mm-hmm.
just want to make sure.
Oh no, I mean,
that
just because the
it's
wound was
okay.
healed does not mean that she doesn't have blood-soaked linen wrapped around her leg
Yeah,
still.
I want to help take care of it, and
Yeah. Why don't you guys talk about what transpired in the House of Mirrors? In fact,
Yeah. What happened, Victoria?
not that Joe or Jeremiah
Yeah.
have any indication due to their gigolo,
Well-
jackalope antics. Gigalope antics? Jackalope? I'm not sure. At any rate,
Atlantics.
I'm detecting a new emote coming.
Hey.
Sex for jackalopes, you know?
Yes.
Will bang for jackalope. Just.
Oof. No.
It'd be really hard to fit in the 12 by 12
Bumper
pixel, but
Yeah.
Hoeing for feet, I think is what.
now I just
what
need.
we're doing.
Oh no.
she's a paho.
Two-pack,
She's a
banging
paho.
for
That's,
jackalopes,
yeah.
hoeing for feet.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
When in doubt, bang it out. You know.
Yeah. So, you two are mildly traumatized. Joe, you're mildly traumatized in a different way. And Jeremiah, you got dinner in your hand. Shit, I mean,
Yep. I got dinner and good luck for everybody.
Hell yeah, you do. Give us some sugar.
Lucy! I'm still ready, darling. Shut
Yeah, I
up!
And then
Somebody couched from another camp.
She wants to tell Jeremiah, like, we will never talk about this again.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because
Knowing what I
Jeremiah
know.
did nail the notice roll. He saw all of that. He saw you push your
Yeah.
chest together. He saw you kind of do that, like, hair twirl, like, twist on the heel thing. It made him just as uncomfortable as it made the rest of us to watch. So he's probably,
Oh man.
yep, let's never talk about that again for sure. Like,
Jeremiah's probably traumatized too. All of us are.
in his own way.
Yep. No, I'm
Well-
ready to murder this animal and steal its legs.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy. You can snap its neck, cut its legs off. That ain't no thing. I don't know your role for that.
Like if Joe's not
Okay.
wanting to do it,
Yeah.
I'll help.
He's
with whatever
butchering the
goes
rabbit.
on.
I've gone through this hell and back to
Victoria
get the
and
steak.
Eliza,
She's getting rabbit stewed in that.
you guys are, you know, sitting on a log next to the fire. Phineas is getting his stuff ready. You got some moments for conversating. Gals being pals.
Scouts,
Okay.
baby, pal.
See.
What the hell? Are you sure? I mean, that looks clean. That
Estoy bien. Yeah. She kind of roughly takes off the rag that she has and sort of not she kind of like rushes to kind of clean it by herself.
Yeah.
And she's just shaking her head.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a thin,
What is it?
pink line of new skin at this point.
Yeah.
Some old dried blood around it from where it had bled out, but it looks like it was a pretty nasty gash at one point, but
Mire.
I'm sorry.
No. Yo, sorry. She turns on her communicator.
all right. Let us not forget.
I'm sorry.
It gives these scenes
God,
such
robot
emotional
voices,
depth.
man.
I am sorry.
I'm the one who's sorry. I shouldn't have forced you to run into the maze like that. I could have made a horrible mistake for both of us.
Honey, you didn't force me. I was gonna go there just like you were. You saw those kids. And
I guess,
Well-
but
Look, there's more about this town that is going to be a problem.
Speaking about
Why is
more
that?
about this town, Joe, you're overhearing this. At this point, that fellow did get super insistent about Eliza's name. This might be an opportunity to interject that factoid.
Miss O'Day. I'm just gonna kind of clear her throat, trying to kind of
Yeah.
nudge into the conversation. Do you happen to know anything about a tall or clown? He wasn't a clown. He was a
No, I know who
real
you're
life
talking
clown.
about.
White face, white hair, kind of average height, about JD's height. He was asking about you. Any reason why you'd know him? Fellow like that?
The only thing we shared were distant relatives. They're distant.
How distant are we talking about? Because he didn't know your name. Now I didn't tell him or nothing, but
I appreciate
he
it. What name
didn't
did
know
you
your
tell him?
name. I think it was Catherine. Young.
Okay.
Might come back and bite me in the ass, but I was trying to keep you at. I didn't feel comfortable
No, you
giving him
did.
your name.
Look, you did more than you ever had to. What did he do? What happened?
He was just real strange like. He was smiling, but he didn't look happy. He was insistent on knowing your name though too. I think he was threatening me. So,
What? No, tell me what exactly he said.
I can't remember very much, but it all happened so fast. He wanted to know who you were, and he really wanted to know who you were, and I just told him Catherine was your name.
You hear sudden shouting as Phineas has taken a bucket of water and tossed it on Gary, who is now sat straight upright in the driver's seat and is sputtering. God damn it, Bill, the suit's silk! You're gonna ruin the whole act!
Sorry, computer messed up.
That's fine. Came right back. Hell.
Okay.
Yeah, he called Phineas Bill. Lou Fang
yeah,
is called
Bill.
Gary. You know.
Bill.
Yeah, I get it. Bill.
Bill.
Are you folks about ready to get started with the show then?
Can you give us just a minute?
Yeah, just about. Time is money, lady. You probably know that better than any of these people.
I can't. Okay, this is out of character. Did we strike up a deal like he would pay us? Was it 40?
Yeah, 30% is what you negotiated,
30,
up
okay.
from 20. You
Gotcha,
tried to
right.
get him to do 70, and he accused you of
Yeah,
being
we did.
high.
Yeah, we did.
But you did manage to finagle him up to 30% of the take.
Okay.
For this evening's show on a trial basis, of course, with an opportunity for extension, should he be successful in purveying his wares.
Okay.
I'm just saying, look, I didn't know until about a couple of years ago. I'm from a, and she's gonna have a hard time
Are you
uttering.
Mormon? Are you from a cult?
She is definitely not fucking Mormon. Holy shit, you couldn't get further away from Mormon than what she is, but yeah.
No. God, no.
Okay, good.
No.
I know how to deal with those guys, but what are we so
If they, I know they, we're from the same bloodline. But look, they can do what I can do, but 10 times worse, I'm sure.
So,
what can you do?
yeah, what can you do? Why don't you explain to us a little bit about Whately blood?
Alright, so, one of the new edges in Deadlands is Whately Blood, and basically it gives men a terrifying, just off-putting appearance. But what's cool about the women is we can choose between like exotically beautiful or like old hag, basically. And but there's another little side added into it that those that are hucksters, if we run out of power points, so the things that we use for the spells, we can hurt ourselves to create more.
Here's some cool factoids about the Whately bloodline. It is assumed, but not confirmed, that they are directly descendant of the union of a woman and Satan. Satan himself, the bona fide, the Christian Satan, right?
That's hot.
They have a tainted bloodline that has run for millennia. You do, Drew, we can't hang out if you now choose to live as a Mormon, man. I'm sorry, man. You could be trans, you could be gay, you could come out as asexual, you come out as a Mormon, man. I gotta cut you off. But, no, additionally, they can engage in blood magic due to the power of evil that courses through their veins. Here's a fun factoid. It's any Whately blood. Not necessarily their Whately blood that they can use to increase their power pool to cast ornate and crazy rituals. So, now that we have that out of character established.
Cool. Now in
I
character.
definitely wouldn't know that side of it.
No, you would not understand. No.
Yeah.
You would know that you can cut yourself and the dark powers go, yeah, do that some more. Oh, yeah, and twerk their nipples, you know? Like, that's what you know. I'm not even sure you know the name. Well, you'd probably know the name of the bloodline given your backstory and previous associations. But yeah.
Yeah.
They are distant cousins of yours and probably pretty closely related to one another.
Yeah.
Gotta keep that bloodline pure. Whoa, no tongue stuff though, Joe. Jesus. What is going on with you tonight? That's... Man. Hezekiah shouts out again, I swear I heard somebody lick the air just now. Was that you, Lucy?
Oh, God.
Just getting dragged around by his pants tent, just toes in the dirt, just... Come take me, Lord. He's ready. But Phineas is super eager to get started. The crowds have started to gather. There's going to be a big tent show and hoedown this evening. They kick off the weekend shows with a big kind of hedonistic festival. Going to be clowns and jugglers and fire breathers. All merchants are allowed to set up alongside after they've paid their permitting fee, which he has taken care of. And so he is ready for the spectacle. So he goes, all right, so we got a shooter, right? What are the rest of you for? Is he collecting 30% and you're just sitting here twiddling your thumbs? Which one of you can take a punch?
A what?
A punch.
Oh.
A blow to the chops.
Yes, I will.
Yeah? Fantastic. Congratulations. You're going to drink the Brawler Elixir. Who else? What do we got here?
Cool.
What do you do, Mexican?
Her name is Victoria.
Great. What do you do, Victoria? Excuse me, Your Highness.
I can heal very well.
You can heal very well. Well, that's fantastic. After this one takes a punch in the face, We'll have her fake an injury, assume she doesn't actually get banged up, right? And then you can drink the amazing healer's elixir, and it'll get her all healed up. You know what, actually, why don't you just present it to her? It'll add an air of exoticness. We already got a Chinese. A Mexican could really be a good gimmick. Are you going to wear the big hat?
Sure.
Fantastico. All right, now last but not least, I don't know. Well, you're not filthy now. You're not hard on the eyes. How many seduction elixir? Do we have seduction labels, Gary? Starts rifling through. We got some charisma labels. Yeah, that's the same. Potato, potato. These schmucks don't even know what the word means. Fantastic. Slap them on some of the red bottles. All right. So what we're going to do, right, we're going to wheel the wagon up there. We're going to set up. We're going to get the thing. I'm going to give my spiel. We're going to gather the crowd. You guys are going to approach independently. We rode in together, but most of these schmucks won't have seen that, right? I am going to call upon you randomly from the audience to perform your tasks, right? Really sell this shit, all right? We're not just trying to sell the normal schmoes here. We're trying to sell the carny folk, too, right? And these carnies, man, they got an eye for a gimmick. Right, and mind you, if we were straight with them, most of them would just buy it anyway because, you know, they're carnies, right? But, like, let's not talk about their habits so much as the spending habits of the normal Joes here, which is what we're fixated on. All right? Does that sound like a plan? Everybody understand their roles?
Yes.
Yep.
Great, great.
See.
That is wonderful. Darling, if you could just, like, hag it up a little. And then, I don't know, like raise your neckline. I'm not sure what needs to be done here. And then after you drink the elixir, I don't know, pinch the cheeks, right? Do you have a pin on you? Could you prick one of your fingers and get a little blood going for the rouge, you know? Because we want you flush, right? We want you vivacious here. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, I can do that.
Excellent, excellent. That'll really sell the gimmick. Remember, when you show up, you're just common, right? You drink the elixir, va-voom, right? Beautiful. She seems to understand. I will see you guys there at the edge of the midway in 15 minutes, all right? He gets in the wagon, and Gary gets on his shirt and braids his hair into the queue and gets all slick and ready, and then turns to you guys, kind of still half drunk, and goes... And then gets on the wagon, and the wagon starts to head off towards the midway.
Out of character?
Yeah.
Like Gary can get it. Just saying. Moving on.
There's gonna be some Gary Victoria /Fic going on here.
Yeah.
Ship it.
Yeah. What would that be? What? One night at Fang's? I'm not sure.
Fusion cuisine.
Fusion cuisine. The flavors of the distant Orient mingle with the flavors of the American Southwest.
Oh, God.
All I know is that there's both
Okay.
corn and baby corn in the dish. You know, that's too much corn. That's too much corn.
God.
But
No.
I'm sorry I brought this up. I'm sorry I brought it up.
yeah, yeah.
Anyways.
Hey, you know Lu Fang bangs.
Stop.
Hey, Fang bangs. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Gary Richards, a.k.a. Lu Fang. He would have baby corn burritos. Ew. Those ingredients do not go together, though. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Maybe like a Szechuan thing, like Szechuan Latin cuisine.
Así no manda Dios.
Yeah, the baby,
Yucky.
and the baby corn is a metaphor too. It's getting gross just there, you know, just there. But all right, are you guys gonna follow and kind of mingle and set up in the crowd?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before Joe's gonna like get some dust and like kind of.
I do believe he said that he liked
A
it
little.
dirty, so that's good.
What?
You're getting all manny. Yeah.
What?
No, he said he liked him manly, so that's good. It's good that you're tarting yourself
She's
up for
gonna
him.
try it, and then she's gonna pull her hair, the little hair she has, into like a little man bun kind of
Yeah.
thing, you know?
No, he's like it that way. It'll be out your
Goodness.
beautiful eyes.
I'm gonna give her my fur coat.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
To see if that can kind of cover.
Yeah,
her
he will
up
definitely get a
some.
-2 to his notice roll that he's invariably going to get when you get into a fist fight as part of a fucking tonic presentation. Yeah. No, it's gonna be great. No, this. Oh, and I still have that adventure card. Thank you so much for that, Leroy. Honestly, that is going to be the most fun I have ever had as a marshal in the entirety of Deadlands. What you did for me there.
You're welcome.
You guys are familiar with the site at this point. It is a, it's your standard wagon with a Professor Phineas Philgood on the side. Gary is in full Lu Fang character, squinting ever so slightly and bowing deeply to the crowd as you guys approach. It's a pretty good assemblage at this point. There are 30, maybe 40 people in a semicircle around him as he says, "Why, these wonders are from the furthest reaches of the Orient. You have never experienced a tonic with such stupendous wonder as that is found within my alchemical reagents. Why, any member of this crowd could take any one of these and find themselves filled with portents of miraculous ability. Lu Fang, please demonstrate the martial arts elixir for us, will you?" And he bows to the crowd, takes a bottle, and drinks way too much of it, given what you know of its contents, right? And you can see on Phineas's face that there's a little bit of consternation, right? Right? And Lu Fang stands, does a little kata, right? And then successfully backflips in place. And the crowd goes, "Oh, that's fantastical. Oh, yay. Give me a notice roll, everybody."
Okay.
He seems high as fuck. To everybody. Like, that water did very little, and he just pounded another bottle. So maybe it would be best to try and ensure that he was not an integral part of the proceedings. Everybody but Joe notices that. And the crowd has cheered and said, Phineas continues, "And that's just one of a smattering, of a sampling of the thousands of tinctures and tonics I can present to you folks here today. Why, how about a bullseye tonic? Has anybody heard of such a wondrous thing?"
Now, sounds like bullshit to me.
"Sir! Good sir! I take that as a challenge. Would you come up here, sir? Everybody, give this man a round of applause." And
Well, I don't get to shoot these very often. They're more of an ornamental.
oh yes,
kinda
they
gun.
certainly appear decorative. It's an ornamental artifice. You know, sometimes a man's manhood isn't found in his trousers, but upon his waist. So, I guarantee you, though, that despite any discrepancies or, how shall we say, shortcomings you may currently experience in that or other departments, that there is an elixir specifically designed for that. Lu Fang!
I'm certainly ready to try.
Lu Fang, bring the gentleman a sample of the bullseye elixir. And Lu Fang kind of stumbles over. He has 2 bottles, one of them in green glass, one of them in blue. Oh, Lu Fang, he's under the weather, apparently. Here. And he grabs the blue glass bottle and hands it to you. Thank you, Lu Fang, thank you. That'll be enough for now. Thank you.
I will take the tiniest little sip out of it.
Yeah, all right, give me a vigor roll.
That's why.
Yeah. So, this one has some kind of stimulant in it. Whereas the other one was laudanum and gin. This is gin and some kind of chemically... And you feel like 7 cups of coffee, but otherwise unimpeded. And he says, "Yes, now with the wondrous bullseye elixir consumed, I am sure that you could take this silver dollar coin and shoot it when I tossed it in the air, punching it clean through.
I certainly do feel something from that elixir, sir.
Oh, I imagine you do, good sir. That is from the darkest jungles of Timbuktu. It is the kava kava plant that is currently coursing through your veins.
Ah. Well, why don't you give her a toss and I'll see how it works.
A little about the kava kava plant, ladies and gentlemen. You actually have to fight the cannibalistic pygmy tribes that inhabit Timbuktu because they worship it as a god. Why, there is only a handful of these in all of the Western world, most of which are contained within my wagon of alchemical reagents. If there is another man that claims that he has kava kava in his potions, he is being deceptive, good sir, and you should report him to the authorities immediately. Are you ready, sir?
I believe so.
Alright, give me a shooting roll at a -2. He flicks the coin up in the air.
Big money, big money.
Come on.
Sure enough, ting!
Yeah.
The shot hits the
Yeah.
coin. It hits the ground. He picks it up, and it is perfect. It is just a perfect circle shot through the coin. And the crowd, understandably, loses their shit. And you can already see people queuing up.
I will dumbfoundedly look at my gun. I'll look at him, give him like this deadpan look.
Give me
And then
a
put my gun
performance roll, good sir,
Yes, performance.
for looking just stupendous at what you've done. Ah, man, yeah, you go. And, like, people are like, okay? Like, you know, it's
I'm so very surprised.
it's like a high school production of Surprise the Emotion, you know?
Right.
Like,
Oh
your
my
eyes
goodness.
are all blacked out in makeup so they can see you from 50 feet away all of a sudden. Alright, excellent, excellent. Everybody give him a round of applause. That was fantastic. What a display. Be sure to line up for your free bottle, sir. They like that free bottle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Free bottle.
Next up, what do we have? Why, we have already seen an amazing display of firearms prowess. Why, if we can make a simple man such as him perform like a god with his iron, what could we do for a simple woman in the crowd that's looking to perhaps increase her assets? Is there an audience member that would like to test our vivaciousness elixir?
And I'm guessing he means me at that point.
He scans across the eye, makes eye contact with you and goes,
And so my plan is like to have my blanket up around and I'm kind of hunched over, and like doing a like a limp walk up to the front.
ooh, yeah, give me a performance with a +2. That is well described with props.
Okay. This is untrained.
Well, yeah,
So,
none of you are actors. I mean, hey,
it
oh!
was a natural one though.
So at one point you slip, right, and the blanket comes out, and about a third of the audience catches your cleavage, right? And they're like,
Yeah.
well, damn, that's some old maid. Huh, damn, you see that? My God.
Yeah.
She don't need no elixir. Right, but you make your way to him, and he seems a little flustered by that. You know, it's clear that the gimmick's not going so well.
Yeah.
So, madame, would you please be so kind as to demonstrate that it can take such a plain lass as yourself and turn her into an exotic splendor with but a swig of this?
Okay. I'm gonna like pour it up, but I'm not swallowing any of it. Like,
Oh, there she's back. Excellent. Yeah, you're not swallowing, so you're gonna fake drink it?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to need a stealth roll.
Okay. This is untrained, so that's good. Still a D4.
Hot damn. Nobody in the audience notices that you fake drink it. Excellent. Now, and behold, as our ugly duckling turns into a fine swan.
But I was planning on having my hair up
Uh-huh.
a little bit under my hat, and
Are
then
you just gonna take
kinda-
your hair down and take off your glasses and shake your head in slow-mo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, typical.
Like a Pantene commercial?
Yeah. Like, no, you know, like those 80 movies where the girl's like, I don't have a lot of self-confidence because I'm ugly, and then she takes off her glasses and lets down her hair. 9.5 easy, just solid, no makeup. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Yeah, No, it's that kind of scene. Yeah, exactly. It's a John Hughes film. Alright, so, give me another performance roll. This time just flat.
Okay.
She was pretty hot earlier. Yeah, the crowd does not buy this one at all. And he says, well,
That's fine.
sometimes people are too aesthetically pleasing to see the results immediately. I would recommend that you see her first in the morning after it's had 8 hours to engorge her femininity.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, he's just bullshitting in the moment.
Yeah.
Do we clap now?
Yeah, there's a smattering. Yeah. I don't
I'm
know.
not feeling it. I'm doing this because I'm forced to.
Right, yeah, no, 100%, yeah. I mean, what's he gonna make here? He's gonna make maybe $50. You guys get 30% of that split four-way. You know, it's not great money. But, he said, well, that might not have been the most impressive example, but what if I were to tell you about my bull's strength formula? Why, it could turn even a simple lass into the most quality of brawlers. Ahem.
Human view.
It could turn even the most simple of lass into the most quality of brawlers. How about you, ma'am? You look like you haven't been in fisticuffs.
Sir.
Oh, sir. Oh, well. I'm sorry. In that case, what a waif of a young lad such as this that could be so easily mistaken for a woman. Why, certainly, he lacks...
She's like real small. And...
Yeah. He lacks the physical prowess of a true warrior, but I could change that immediately right now with but a single swig. Would you please come up, ma'am? Jesus.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you walk up.
Yeah.
Hey.
And just trying to be as small as she can because she signed up for.
Yeah. Signed up for it.
Not one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hands you a bottle.
Regrets every minute. Yep. Should on cargo with their teeth and take a sip.
Taking a sip. Give me a vigor roll.
What kind of roll?
Vigor. Vigor. You succeed.
Lucky.
Only just.
Oh.
Yeah,
geez.
so, you feel a little numb. Right, this one is clearly a little high on the laudanum. But, that's probably good, because he says, is there a challenger in the crowd that would like to prove her physical prowess? His physical prowess? I'm sorry, it's just so you're so effeminate looking, good sir. I mean, even after having taken the elixir, it appears there's only so much it has done. But a, big, just huge ox of a man. We're talking like 7 feet tall with a neck just that starts at the bottom of his ears and ends at the beginning of each one of his deltoids. Stands up and says, I'll punch her.
Oof, he can get it.
Does he have a marshal like
No.
star on
Mm-mm.
or?
No,
Okay,
he
I'm
just seems like a
trying to figure out
random.
if it's a strong man or not. So. All right.
He's
Yep.
gonna walk up and he says, it's only fair. I'll let you plug me first. I am going to need a fighting roll from you, Joe.
For me?
From you, yeah. This guy wants you to
Okay,
sock him in the face. Your
Gotcha.
connection down? Do you need me to make a fighting roll for you?
No, I got it. I
Alright.
think, yeah. Did it do it?
Nope. Just drop it in the chat. Or double click it. That works too.
Okay, I'm like, it rolled, I thought. Jeez.
This has been a tear. Oh my fucking what?
What?
Well, that was a 23 if the trait roll of a natural
happened?
1 on the first. You rolled a 23 the
Oh,
first time, but your trait roll was a natural 1. But we will go with
Oh.
the second one, which is a 13,
okay.
which is well over twice what you needed to hit the gentleman. Which means
Mhm.
you cock back, and you're like Little Mac and Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Full-on uppercut. It catches him in the jaw, and he stands there, and his eyes cross, and he just falls, boom, over backwards. And the crowd just freaks the fuck out. I mean, this is like, oh my god, really? Right, and you probably just added $20 to his take single-handedly. I mean, that was an amazing display of prowess. And he says, well, look at that, she didn't even take a blow. But this gentleman appears to be nigh incapacitated. Well, perhaps some of my healing elixir would help. And he says, this young woman here, from the farthest reaches of Mexico, knows of a few rare cactus flowers that, when blended together in a synergistic arrangement, create a healing potion that is most potent, and I have recently came to have her in my employ. Please demonstrate the miraculous effects of this elixir on this incapacitated behemoth.
Victoria walks out. She kind of like moves her brake to the other side. And is this guy actually hurt?
Oh, he is unconscious, yeah.
As she flipped her hair to the side, she actually grabs a strand of it and wraps it around the bottle.
Yeah.
And she will go ahead. Ah, God, my foot. Sorry.
Your foot fall asleep?
No, that's not what happened. Yes. And okay, and I guess she kind of like presses the bottle against the man's unconscious lips. Just roll a standard healing.
Yeah, oh yeah. You're just gonna do normal first aid to him, you know. The elixir would probably do more harm than good. I'm not sure that laudanum is something you're supposed to prescribe to unconscious people. Well, good lord. Yeah, and it's almost the moment that you touch him that he sputters back to consciousness. Just coincidentally, of course, because he was only knocked out for a moment. But to the crowd, it appears as though it was the miraculous healing elixir that had touched his lips and caused him to immediately spit out 2 of his teeth and go, "Hey, I'm awake!"
Ya hice mi trabajo, ¿me vas a pagar?
See? Look at the fantastic Latin power!
Okay.
That is the thunder from down under, south of the border, where the magic is even stronger in their elements and plants. Why, there are many herbs from south of the border that could be acquired that would provide these miraculous powers, but only when combined with the knowledge of an esteemed professor such as myself, Phineas Feelgood. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will be the contents of this evening's display. Please line up to acquire your wares. And the crowd, you know, applauds. Yeah, that was pretty good. Most of the shit worked. All right, yeah. And they line up, and each of you gets $10. Because it was a pretty good haul. More successes than failures.
I like money.
Cool.
You have managed to avoid Hezekiah completely for the evening. He thinks maybe you're camping in the woods, so is patrolling the wood line. He's not going to be a factor. Phineas
Oh,
pockets
yeah.
his take and he says, "All right, I'm going back to the campsite. So, y'all enjoy your money in the show. I know there's a hoedown about to happen. Maybe that's your deal. Get something to eat. I'll see you for tomorrow night's spectacle, same time. Consider yourselves officially hired."
Again.
Okay.
The fairway is much more active now. It seems that people are gathering. There is going to be a strongman wrestling event, a shooting contest, a show in the big top, and the aforementioned celebratory hoedown.
Pues muchachos, tenemos que agarrar comida. No hemos comido.
Most of it's fried.
No comprende.
Comida.
De Niro?
That means
Comedy.
food.
Oh, okay. What kind of fried stuff, Will, is there?
There are fritters. There is cornbread. There is fritters with sugar. There is flatbread. There is, it's...
So fried pickles aren't a thing yet?
No. Unfortunately, the advent of Ghost Rock has not accelerated the development of the fried pickle.
Dang. Okay.
The cuisine hasn't just upgraded.
Right.
Give it a few years. Check out
Mm.
Tate and Miles for fried pickles.
Oh yeah, no, there are fried pickles in Tate and Miles. Don't worry, that's been established. Yeah. Not that anybody can afford them because that's cooking oil and it's the Great Depression. But the pickle's easy enough. Vinegar's not that bad. Old cucumbers and vinegar, fuck yeah. The frying is where it starts to get.
Tough.
Oh.
But Eliza's gonna look at everyone. Look,
Jeremiah, give me a notice roll. Never mind. Go ahead, Eliza.
look, I guess the sooner we can get out of here, the better. Look, Victoria and I went through the mirror maze. Thought we saw one of the kids, but God, I don't know what was in there, but there was a man and woman that I saw coming in here, and they spotted me. I mean, I don't know who they are, but they're interested in me for some reason. I don't know why. The only thing I have an idea of is that the family resemblance, but
Y'all want
I'm
to see an
not-
Aztec mummy?
Who is that?
Well, you'd have to turn around and. It's a little person
young,
in a
or, like, just
tuxedo
pretty-
suit and a top hat. He's about 3 feet tall. He's looking up at you guys. You guys want to see an Aztec mummy?
Not
No.
really.
No.
How about the deck of cards that Wild Bill Hitchcock was using when he died?
Who's that? Do I know who that is?
Oh my God.
Alright, get bent, lady, he says, and
Joe.
he walks away.
Ay, Josito.
You don't know who Wild Bill Hitchcock is. Who's that? Yeah.
Miss O'Day. Miss O'Day, if you got kin here, we got
No.
some time.
They distant, and I mean the absolute most distant we could think of. We share a bloodline, and that is all.
Well, it might
I don't
help
think
us
a family
to.
reunion's a good idea, Jeremiah.
No. I mean, look. I never knew about what I was, but the man I met that even looked similar to me, he was kind. He saved my life. The way that man looked at me, it was predatory.
Well, Miss O'Day, I'm sure there's plenty of men that look at you predatory.
No,
Facts.
I can't. Not in that way. It made me scared, and I'm not scared of anybody, but look, we should probably all stay together if we can, and
Who has wandered off for food at this point?
Victoria.
Yeah.
Victoria and Joe. Excellent.
Victoria,
So you
yeah.
turn around, and Victoria, you're conversating with Jeb at this point. Victoria and Joe, there are a variety of fried food booths. There's a stew booth. There's a chili booth.
Hell yeah, there.
You
Mhm.
guys just ate rabbit stew before you left the camp, huh?
Listen
Well,
here.
but this is fair food. Firstly,
Can't miss the funnel cake.
you get down into
Exactly.
the food court area there, and give me a notice roll.
Who doggy?
Victoria,
Ooh.
you're wandering the, things, trying to find something that looks like it isn't just possum, right? And you see a lonely, solitary clown standing in the shadows between two shut-down booths, and he sees you, and he goes,
Mm.
Bye.
No gracias. No gracias.
he
Mm.
Go. He's beckoning you.
he goes like this, and he reaches into his pants, and he pulls out a horn and goes,
Pulls out his horn.
Oh god, the player in me is like, do it, go. But Victoria's smarter than me, unfortunately. She, you know what?
He takes out a long rubber balloon.
This is a total it moment right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Shit. Don't go down the drain.
Y'all float down.
And it is a skull.
Oh shit,
Bye.
I haven't prayed to my boy yet.
Not in a couple of days, Victoria. Which is why you've been using just straight medicine rolls.
Fuck me. She looks over to the clown and shakes her head and runs away.
You
that's
turn
funny.
around, and there is another clown.
Fuck off!
This one
No!
isn't the cowboy clown,
No.
but he's wearing a striped suit with a big collar, and it has several big pom-poms running down the feet. Give me a notice roll.
God damn it. Don't like it. I do not. This is bad.
Hell yeah.
The
God.
fingers are long, and the nails come to sharp black points. And you look at the face, and the nose is swollen and red, but it's like a carbuncle. It's not a clown nose. It's his actual nose. And he smiles, revealing rotten teeth, right? And you can see that the makeup isn't makeup, it's his skin that's cracked and dried, pale white and blue streaks running down his face.
God,
Get the fuck
that's
out.
hot.
Right behind
Get
you,
out.
now,
Get the
literally
fuck out.
within 6 inches of your ear.
Cut off his nose.
Okay.
You spin
No,
around,
thank
and the
you.
other clown is there.
Is she by herself all of a sudden?
Yeah. Yeah, I know you wandered off
What
here in
the
a dark
fuck?
section. You were
I
looking
was
for
with
fair
Joe.
food. Yeah, you were.
Using the adventure card.
Oh
I
shit.
know.
Oh
But
shit.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Wait, can I play an adventure card?
This is
You
awesome.
can
know
play
how to
an
do this.
adventure card, but you're not aware of this situation right now.
Yeah, I
Due
know.
to the magic of the previously played adventure card.
Yeah. Oh shit.
You turn to your side, and there's another clown. This one smiles, and his teeth are filed into points, and his eyes have a sinister gleam. You turn to the other side, and there's another clown. This one 3 feet tall, but his fingers are like 12 inches long and seem to have an extra joint.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I can't
Victoria
do it. No, this
doesn't
is awful.
see any other way out of this. She grabs the skull, poor little Leroy, into her chest, and she lowly prays she kind of sings out a prayer while she walks towards the clown that's beckoning her.
It wraps its arm around your shoulder and leads you into the shadows, and the other clowns follow. Joe, you turn around, and Victoria is nowhere to be found.
Fuck. Is there a trail?
There's fuck all, just a crowd of people milling about.
Victoria. Just gonna start yelling.
I am
Victoria.
singing.
You are singing in a whole other place, though. Oh, man.
Alright.
Man, you know where those clowns are from? Anybody? Anybody have any guess?
Hell?
Well,
The dragons?
that's pretty close. It turns out that, boy, there are just a bunch of, people practicing some dark magics here, and when that happens, the veil between worlds thins, right? And people can find themselves ushered from this reality, right, into another
The
reality.
hunting ground.
Fuck.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit, is she taking a stroll
Fuck
on the hunting
no.
grounds with some killer clowns
Fuck
right now?
no.
Oh,
No.
shit.
No, oh my god, I am
damn.
such a bad. Oh my god, I feel so guilty.
Yeah, you're gonna feel guilty, because it's gonna be a horrific experience. Oh, it's so great. I love it so much. But moving on, fried food. You got yourself some cornbread and a bowl of chili.
She's, I guess, like mouth
Mhm.
full. Victoria?
Mm-hmm.
Victoria!
Give me a notice roll, Joe.
Noise or something.
Oh my god.
You do not notice Victoria or any clowns, but you do notice that fellow with the white hair smoking a cigarillo, leaning against a lamppost and staring at you. The handle of his pistol seems to, glow's the wrong word, but the inlay catches so much light, right? Your eyes are focused on it, and he seems displeased with you.
Well, I'm gonna circle around and go the other fucking way, because I'm not talking to him about
Right,
looking
right.
for Victoria. Is there anyone else who is in the area?
They are still back on the midway. You went to the food courts, which is on the far end of the
No,
midway.
anybody
Oh,
else?
yeah,
like,
there are
I
people
could
milling
ask?
about. Yeah, there are randos, yeah. Some carnival workers, a couple of families, people are eating.
I'm gonna tap a trustworthy looking person on the shoulder and just ask, have you seen my friend? Getting tall?
You're gonna have to be more specific than that, lady.
Kind of real intricate looking dress.
Real.
What?
We're at the carnival, lady. You describing about half the gals here.
Like a Mexican
You make out of what
looking...
she's saying there, Josephina? I don't know. She's drunk.
But she's gonna storm off and try and find someone else.
Jeremiah, give me a notice roll.
Shit.
Anyone? Can I?
Oof. You can give me a notice roll too.
Jeremiah don't notice shit.
I don't know, it's a goddamn. You keep I think that's like your 4th critical fail on a notice roll. One of these
Hey,
days, your
what's
eyes are
up?
getting pecked out.
What is up? I am here.
I don't need
I'm
eyes.
ready to go.
You notice a raven-haired lady with green eyes, and now a low-cut dress, silk, real fine, real nice, real regal. Walk her way. She seems to be fixated on Jeremiah, though, and paying you no mind whatsoever.
I'm gonna say we need to go now.
Go where, Miss O'Day?
Out.
I'll shrug and follow her.
The
That's not good music.
lady's following you.
Oh, this is not. I'm just gonna tell. Look, remember the cousin? Yeah, she's behind us. Uh, whoever was looking for me. We need to find the others. This is not gonna end well.
Well, I know they were looking for some food earlier. Maybe they're around the tents. We can go
I
look
think
for
we
'em.
should stay in public. We go private, they can do things.
A voice rings out angelically and says, Mr. Decker.
Yes.
You turn around, and about the finest looking woman you've ever seen, aside from Miss O'Day, is standing there. She says, I'm so pleased to finally make your acquaintance.
Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, ma'am?
My name is Lucinda, Mr. Decker. Lucinda Domino. I run this town with my partner.
Wilbur,
Why, yes. Have you made his acquaintance?
a friend of mine did.
That's good to hear, Miss O'Day.
Well, it's actually fortuitous that we ran into you here, ma'am.
It is, in fact, because I would like you, Mr. Decker, to accompany me to this evening's festivities. Give me a spirit roll.
That doesn't sound pleasant.
Come on, man. Come on.
Big money, big money, big
Oh.
money.
Yeah,
I'm so
her
scared.
voice is tantalizing and seems to echo hauntingly in the back of your head. There is something driving you, pulling you to fall into their words like a pool of refreshing crystalline water. You've never been so transfixed by a woman before in your entire being, but something in you tells you that there's an edge to it that, maybe this isn't a request that would go as kindly if she seems to be letting on. But there's no threat, no menace, no nothing.
Right. It's probably like Eliza's words about her relative, and I'm starting to see a resemblance. Well, ma'am, actually, I've already got someone to accompany me tonight. But perhaps
Do
next
you
time.
mean Miss O'Day? Why, she's more than welcome
I'm
as
not-
well.
I'm not entirely sure who Miss O'Day is.
Oh,
this
you're so
here-
funny, Jeremiah. She says, and she places a hand on your chest, and I need another spirit roll. This time at a -2.
Oh
I got this. I got spirit.
my god.
Come on, come on. Come on, Jeremiah.
Oh, no!
Her touch is intoxicating. I mean, it sends electricity down your spine when she lays the hand on you and her fingertips grace the outside of your duster. And it is like this powerful, I mean, you feel it, right? Every second of it. And you are drawn into her words. Why, a hoedown? Yes, Jeremiah. I would love you to take my arm and accompany me to this evening's dance. It would be my guest to honor.
I will look at Eliza and tip my hat, and you might notice like a little bit of apprehension, but the dice are what the dice are. Let's go.
Look, just I will come willingly.
Give me a spirit roll. Oh, poof, and she disappears.
I will come willingly.
Oh, it's time to have the internet go out. Oh
Right.
my god. Jesus. Okay, what am I rolling?
Spirit.
Hey, what's up? Is this against magic?
Yes.
I got they have a
Mm.
-2 against me. I have arcane resistance.
Yes, you do, but I am afraid she is drawing magic from a source that you are intimately familiar with.
Shit.
You got it. Spirit roll's good
Come
for
on.
you.
Yeah, there you
Mm.
go.
You feel your throat seize, right? And the words stutter in your mouth, and you. But you managed to get the whatever you wanted to say out.
They aren't a part of this.
They're a part of anything I like them to be, dear.
Don't do it.
How about this? If you would like young Jeremiah and the rest of your entourage to be safe, you'll come meet us at the Fessler House Manor at midnight, alone.
Okay.
We've got plans for you, cousin dear. Plans indeed. She snaps her fingers, and Jeremiah comes back to his senses. She blows you a kiss and saunters down the street.
I give her like a
Eliza's
smile
face
and a
is
little.
white. Like she's
Well, Miss O'Day, it looks like you've seen the ghost.
Joe, give me a notice roll. You notice Victoria's sombrero in the alley between a couple of tents.
Oh shit. She's not gonna drop her chili, she's just gonna put it on the floor. And run to go get it and dust it off. Victoria! Is that from behind me?
No, it's just around the corner here. You got the food court area behind you. It was right here at the center of the tents. Seems to be coming from around the corner of a tent.
Like, take a few steps forward and look.
There is a
See
clown
where it
sitting
is.
there.
On the ground or is it
No,
a
just
bench?
standing there around the corner like this.
Excuse me. Did you happen to see her? Do you have? Just gonna take a step forward and.
Give me a notice roll.
Did you see my friend? Oh shit. Okay.
You are about to take a step forward and you look to your left, and there is a 7-foot tall clown standing there.
7 foot tall?
7 foot tall. He's got an eggplant head, very narrow top, widens out into a very broad grin, and he says, I can take you to your friend.
Victoria? You.
Yes. You need only accompany me. Behind you.
How do you. Did you take her? Where is my friend?
Follow me, child. And he turns with his giant clown shoes. and starts walking.
No.
Give me
No,
a
no, no,
tracking
no.
roll.
Survival?
Yeah. You
Okay.
notice that his footsteps each sink about 6 inches into the earth, which would indicate that he weighs a couple of 1,000 pounds, which doesn't seem humanly possible. He turns
She's gonna go
with
over
a
and kind
long
of
and toothy grin and goes, "This way, child. Hurry, you don't want to keep them waiting."
them. Where's my friend?
Right behind you now. You turn, and the clown pulls out a long rubber balloon. And blows it up and starts twisting it. After a moment, it smiles and holds it up, and it says, "To be continued."
God damn it.
Oh.
God damn you.
Well, sounds like the only one leaving this Maya.
So,
You,
that is, man, we've just the tip of the iceberg here in Wagonsend, folks. I am telling you, we have not even started to sample the waters of the fucked upness
Oh my god.
that is this Waitley Run Helltown. Fear level 4 for you Deadlands aficionados, by the way. After dark, when the show kicks off. But we got a hoedown coming up. We have crazy, not at all cannibalistic clowns from another dimension that feed upon the souls of the living that have already taken somebody. Nothing like that is transpiring.
Oh god.
Everybody is going to be super kosher, super laid back, super casual, and fun for next week when we continue in the weirdest town
damn it.
in the West. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, we do 4 shows a week. We're launching 50 Fathoms come this Sunday. It's pirate adventure on the high seas, swashbuckling Pirates of the Caribbean, high fantasy, crazy races. It's going to be dope. Come Friday night, I'm going to try and kill 3 of these people here. I failed last week, but this week, the shit's hitting the fan, and Dead is Better, the zombie survival simulator that you can be a part of, by the way. Go ahead and apply by joining the Discord. Just drop us a line in there. Roll yourself using your own stats and see how many episodes you make it through the zombie apocalypse. But with all of that said, again, thank you. We appreciate all of you sticking with us here tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show. And from the League of Gentlemen Explorers to yourselves, may your dice always roll hot. Have a great night, folks.
night, everybody.
Bye.